Formula One's most talked about show, Drive to Survive, is once again in the spotlight, but not for the right reasons. The series is facing heavy criticism for manipulating reality and twisting facts to create a more dramatic storyline. And, this time, it's not just the fans who are calling it out. One of the biggest names in F1, Max Verstappen, has voiced his frustration as well. Recently, while commenting on a picture from the Miami Grand Prix, Max made a statement that raises serious questions about the show's authenticity. Is Drive to Survive actually damaging Formula One's reputation? And if so, what can be done to fix this issue? There's no denying that Drive to Survive has played a massive role in expanding Formula One's global audience. It has brought in a wave of new fans, especially in markets where F1 wasn't as popular before. But with its growing influence comes a major responsibility: to present the sport as it truly is. Unfortunately, the show has often been accused of prioritizing drama over reality, and this has led to serious concerns among both fans and drivers. One of the biggest examples of this is how the show portrayed Lando Norris's victory in Miami. If you followed the actual race, you'd know that Verstappen was genuinely happy for Norris. The two were seen celebrating together, and Max even praised his friend for securing his first career win. But when you watch Drive to Survive, you get a completely different picture. The show makes Verstappen look like a bitter rival, using unrelated clips from other races to create a false narrative. This kind of editing doesn't just change the perception of a driver, it alters the entire way fans understand the sport. This isn't the first time Verstappen has spoken out against the show. In fact, he has been critical of Drive to Survive for years, accusing it of exaggerating rivalries and fabricating conflicts that don't actually exist. Back in 2023, he openly stated that he didn't enjoy how the series manipulated events to make things seem more dramatic than they really were. And now, with the Miami Grand Prix episode, his concerns seem more justified than ever. One particular moment that sparked controversy was how the show used Verstappen's reactions from the Dutch Grand Prix, combining them with voiceovers to make it seem like he was upset about Norris winning. The reality? He wasn't. In fact, he later addressed this issue directly, sarcastically commenting, "Apparently I was very sad after Miami. I literally had the best time ever on Sunday." His frustration is clear. He doesn't want to be part of a narrative that misrepresents him. But Verstappen isn't the only one raising concerns. Many fans believe that Drive to Survive has crossed a line, moving too far from reality in an attempt to create a more dramatic story. So the big question remains: is this good entertainment, or is it damaging Formula One's credibility? Drive to Survive is a television show first, and a sports documentary second. At the end of the day, it's designed to entertain, which means some level of dramatization is inevitable. However, there's a fine line between adding excitement and completely altering reality, and according to many fans, that line has been crossed multiple times. Take, for example, how the show handled George Russell's role in Mercedes. In one episode, he was portrayed as the clear leader of the team, with his future secured as the next top driver. But what wasn't mentioned? The fact that he was disqualified from a major race due to his car being underweight. That's a significant detail, yet it was completely ignored. If you only watched Drive to Survive and didn't follow actual F1 races, you'd never know this happened. This selective storytelling is exactly why many longtime fans struggle to take the show seriously. It's not about small exaggerations, it's about the way major events are reshaped or even erased to fit a certain narrative. And when key moments are left out, it creates a version of the sport that isn't entirely real. This isn't just about individual drivers. Entire storylines are being reshaped to fit a scripted version of Formula One. One of the biggest talking points of the 2024 season was Adrian Newey's shocking departure from Red Bull. His exit sent shockwaves through the paddock, and with speculation about Max Verstappen potentially leaving in 2026, this was a huge moment for the sport. But Drive to Survive barely acknowledged it. Instead, the show focused on internal drama within Red Bull, highlighting Christian Horner's struggles, but completely ignoring the real reason key figures like Newey, Jonathan Wheatley, and Paul Monaghan decided to walk away. The fact that one of F1's greatest technical minds, Newey, chose to leave after 20 years should have been a major part of the show. But for some reason, it wasn't. And this isn't the only time important details have been left out. When Lewis Hamilton secured an emotional victory at Silverstone, marking his first win in Mercedes since 2021, it was a massive moment. But once again, the show failed to capture its full significance, reducing it to just another episode highlight, rather than giving it the attention it truly deserved. This pattern raises an important question. If Drive to Survive keeps ignoring major moments like these, is it really giving fans an accurate view of Formula One? Another glaring omission in Drive to Survive was the debut of young driver Oliver Bearman in Saudi Arabia. This was a defining moment in Formula One, as the rookie showcased his talent on one of the most challenging tracks, proving that he could be the future of the sport. Not only did he impress in that race, but he also made history by becoming the only rookie to score points with two different teams in a single season, after another strong performance in Baku. Yet, despite this remarkable achievement, the show barely gave it any attention. Instead of highlighting such crucial moments, Drive to Survive seems more focused on exaggerating rivalries and creating artificial tension between drivers. While rivalries are a natural part of any competitive sport, forcing them into the storyline when they don't actually exist can damage the show's credibility. Many fans have pointed out that moments like the supposed tension between Lando Norris and Daniel Ricciardo at McLaren were blown out of proportion. While it's true that Norris wasn't overly concerned about his teammates' struggles, the way the show framed their relationship made it seem much more dramatic than it actually was. The problem here isn't just the exaggeration, it's that important real-life moments are being sacrificed for the sake of manufactured drama. If the show continues down this path, it risks alienating true F1 fans who want an authentic behind-the-scenes look at the sport. Fans are now starting to express their frustration across social media, with many voicing concerns that Drive to Survive is becoming more of a reality TV drama than an actual representation of Formula One. While the show undeniably played a major role in attracting new viewers to the sport, longtime F1 fans are growing increasingly frustrated with the way events are being distorted for the sake of entertainment. The biggest issue isn't just the added drama, it's that the show is actively changing the way casual fans perceive Formula One. Someone who watches Drive to Survive without following real races might walk away with a completely different understanding of what actually happened throughout the season. For instance, if you relied solely on the series, you might believe that Mercedes had a dominant 1-2 finish at the Belgian Grand Prix, when in reality, George Russell's disqualification meant that Lewis Hamilton was the rightful winner. This kind of misinformation can damage the credibility of the sport, making it harder for new fans to separate fact from fiction. And as more moments get exaggerated or left out entirely, it raises a critical question. At what point does Drive to Survive stop being a documentary and start becoming just another scripted show? Nobody is denying that Drive to Survive has played a huge role in growing Formula One's global audience. The show gave fans a rare glimpse into the personal lives of drivers, the intense team rivalries, and the high-stakes decision-making behind the scenes. But when storytelling starts taking priority over the truth, it creates a problem. Adding excitement to real-life events is one thing, but completely twisting narratives to fit a dramatic script is something else. There's a difference between emphasizing emotions and outright rewriting history. The moment the audience starts questioning whether what they're seeing is even real, the show's credibility begins to crumble. Many longtime F1 enthusiasts argue that the sport is already dramatic enough on its own. The intense battles on track, the unpredictable weather conditions, and the shocking team decisions. These elements don't need to be exaggerated because they're already thrilling. But when a show selectively edits footage to manipulate a storyline, it takes away from the authenticity that made Drive to Survive so popular in the first place. If Netflix continues down this path, the risk is clear. Hardcore fans will turn away while new viewers will have a distorted perception of the sport. So the big question remains, can Drive to Survive find a balance between entertainment and authenticity, or is it already too far gone? At the end of the day, Drive to Survive has a choice to make. Continue prioritizing drama over reality, or take a step back and focus on presenting the sport as it truly is. Formula One is already filled with incredible moments, underdog victories, heartbreaks, and intense rivalries that don't need to be exaggerated to keep fans engaged. The real stories, when told properly, are more than enough to captivate both new and old audiences. The backlash the show is facing isn't just from a few frustrated fans. It's from people who genuinely love the sport and want it to be represented accurately. If Netflix and the show's creators ignore this growing criticism, they risk losing the very audience that made Drive to Survive a global phenomenon in the first place. So, what's the solution? The show doesn't have to lose its entertainment value, but it does need to be more responsible in how it portrays key moments. Editing decisions should enhance the experience, not distort reality. If Drive to Survive wants to remain a valuable part of Formula One's future, it must rebuild trust with its audience by sticking closer to the truth while keeping the excitement alive. What do you think? Has Drive to Survive gone too far in twisting reality, or is this just part of the entertainment industry? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're interested in what's next for Cadillac's F1 ambitions, check out our latest video. It's right on your screen.